Hello everyone, Justin Patton here, leadership and communication coach, and coming to you from Louisville, Kentucky today. I did not win the Powerball, so I am back at these videos and back at work today. So I hope wherever you are, if you didn't win the Powerball, obviously you're probably here, because if so, we'd probably be off on some remote location. But anyways, I wanted to do just a quick video about how your energy that you show up with every day is actually impacting the quality of your life and how it impacts your ability to really connect with other people. You know, as someone who is a professional and personal life coach, everything we study is about energy and the impact that it actually has on us as human beings and our relationships and the way that we lead teams. So I just wanted to give you just a little nugget of information to get you thinking about how are you showing up as far as from an energy perspective, and what can you do differently just to make a little bit of more of a difference in the way that you connect with people. So there's a quote that I really love. It's by Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor. And for many of you know, if you ever watch TED Talks, her TED Talk is called My Stroke of Insight. That's her book. And she was a brain researcher who studied, the brain, and she ends up having a stroke. And she was actually in the hospital. And she said as she was recovering from this stroke, she could literally feel the energy that people would bring into the room. And the energy they brought into that room would impact her overall wellness. And so she came up with this quote that said, "Take responsibility for the energy that you show up with." So everything that I do to coach leaders in Fortune 500 companies is to say, how can we get you to really have a little bit more self-awareness about the energy that you show up with and take responsibility for that energy because it's impacting the way that you see the world. It's impacting the team that you lead. It's impacting how you communicate with other people. So here it is. Just wanted to give you just a little tip, and it's about what are the 3 levels of energy that I want to share with you. And so level 1 energy is all about, those people in life that always play the victim, that it's always poor me, or you got those people that are always fighting through life at every situation. If so, either like the video or post a comment and make a comment that says, yes, I know those people, right? We all know them. And there's even moments in life where we probably are those people, where I can't believe, my work always does this to me. I can't believe this. And so the problem with level 1 energy, it's very catabolic, it's very destructive. And so when we show up in our relationships at a level 1 energy, playing the victim or always fighting, nothing is ever good enough. And here's the deal with level 1 energy. All right, Claude, I knew you could agree, right, Matt? So I think sometimes this level 1 energy, here's what I want you to get. Even though it's the people that always play the victim or they always are fighting through life, the core emotion with level 1 is those people make every decision and they communicate always in their life out of fear. And so all the choices they make about what to do at work, should they stay in the relationship or get out? Should they, take this next opportunity? Most of the decisions are always really driven and rooted in fear, and it's a very destructive way in which to live your life. So that's level 1. And so to get to level 2, which is a little bit of a higher energy level, level 1 energy was all about victim and conflict. Level 2, we know, is all about forgiveness and understanding. And so how it plays out in a relationship is I might not always agree with what you're saying, but I at least sit down in the moment and I try to understand it. Or in our relationships, we mess up. We're human beings, and I'm able to sit back into it and try to forgive you for what you did, but make some different choices going forward. And so what we know is that that core emotion in level 2 is always empathy. That am I able to really sit down and try to understand someone's perspective? I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to like it, but I'm able to try to understand where that person's coming from. Listen, I tell people all the time that I coach, you cannot get out of level 1 energy into level 2 until you are willing to forgive yourself or someone else, because that level 1 energy keeps us stuck. So level 2 is all about forgiveness and understanding, and it's all about having empathy for people. And the final thing, level 3 energy is all about joy and opportunity. So when things happen, we don't have to play the victim. We don't even have to always try to forgive someone else. We're able to stay at this higher level to say, what is the opportunity in this situation? Even if it's a new work situation. I was at General Electric doing a big keynote presentation for them. And, a lot of part of their business is being sold off to a different company. And people as to be expected or nervous. And they're like, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to lose my job? What's going to happen to my manager? Am I going to have new people I have to connect with? And all of that's really honest concerns for people. But people that operate at level 3 can acknowledge it, but also say, but wow, what a great opportunity to see what this new job is going to be like, or to see, maybe meet some new people that I've never met before. So just know that, and the difference with level 3 is the core emotion behind it is always rooted in love. That I make every decision in my relationships, my work, and all that as a leader, is my choices and the way that I communicate it really rooted in love, or is it really rooted in fear, which is level 1? So here's what I want you to get out of all this craziness I'm talking about. We go through all those levels of energy. I think the big thing I want to get all of you to think about on the video is where are you really spending most of your time? Do you spend most of your time in level 1, victim mentality, fighting through life conflict? Do you spend it in mostly level 2, where I really try to understand people and I find forgiveness in people and I have empathy? Or are you able to really stay at level 3, which is all about, I choose to live my life and trying to have opportunity and experience joy and operate from a place of love and compassion? So just something to think about. I would say this, if wherever you are in that, is to get really clear about where do you want to spend most of your time, and then how do your choices and the actions that you make support your ability to actually show up there. Because if you can shift your energy, you can shift your life. And the energy that we show up with most on a day-to-day basis really is experience. It's impacting our ability to connect with people, lead people really effectively as leaders, have really healthy relationships with our partners, and all that kind of good stuff. So, Matt, you just gave me a comment. So if you have any comments, feel free, or questions about energy and whatever, about relationships, put them in the comments section. I'll respond to them. So Matt, it looks like you said, yeah, Humana is going through these emotions now with the proposed Aetna merger. I just don't think or worry about it. It's negative energy. Yeah, so here's what I would say that's interesting about that, right, is I don't think it's about ignoring it or not dealing with it, right? But it's acknowledging what it is that I'm really feeling, and then getting to frame my mindset about what do I want to do with those thoughts. That I can, so here's an example, Matt. So when I was at GE and they were going through a very similar situation, there's an exercise in coaching that we do for people. And so here's what it is. When those thoughts come up for you or anyone at Humana about this merger with Aetna, what are the feelings that come up with that? And most of the people said, it gives me anxiety. I get scared. I'm really afraid. And then I would say, as a result of this, thinking about this Aetna merger, thinking about the feelings that come up with that, what are the actions that you're taking now when those feelings come up for you? And they say, I don't take any action, or I disconnect from my job, or I get scared and I go home and then I'm angry or I'm worried, and so I take it out on my family. And so what we do is to try to how to help people reframe that and say, okay, if you could own a more empowering thought and have different energy around the merger, and to say, when I think of the merger with Aetna, with Humana, what is a more empowering feeling that I could have, or a more empowering thought to say, I could choose to believe that maybe with this merger is going to come some opportunity. So if I could believe that thought, then what was the feeling that would come up? It would be a little bit of excitement, or I could still be nervous, but I would wonder about, how do I start connecting with people and put myself in the place of most potential? Okay, well, if you could buy into that, then what actions would you take? I would go to work every day and try to build new connections. I would make sure that I was trying to position myself in the best possible light. I would really think about what are projects and things that I could take on now that could build my resume. Like, you start to operate and show up at a completely different level when we start reframing the way that we think about the situations that we're going through. So thank you for sharing that, Matt. I think a lot of people are in your situation or other people's situation where they know what it's like to go through this crazy uncertainty in a job, or even in a relationship, and we get to choose, we get to honor what we're experiencing and feeling, but then we get to choose the mindset of how we want to look at that. So I hope that just gives you something to think about. Thanks for all of you for joining. Just think about, what are the 3 levels of energy? How are they impacting your relationships, the way that you lead teams, the way that you communicate with other people? And if you can shift that energy, you'll shift the quality of your life. So hope it gives you something to think about. If no one tells you they believe in you, I want you to know that I believe in you. If you have any questions, email me. You can follow me on Facebook. I have a public page. It's Justin Patton Inspires, all one word. Post a lot of videos and quotes and resources on there for you around leadership and communication skills. And if anyone's interested in, just one-on-one coaching, let me know. Reach out to me. All right. Have a great day, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.